Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, October 3rd, 2021, Sunday, early morning time, 3:38 a.m. Talk continues about system of quality and quality, safety, and related issues on title being Civil Field Engineering or Field Engineering related to life and engineers and people, quality and AnnexSL, safety, health, environment, designs, construction, methods, contracts, organizations, communication and coordination, and why be behind quality of standard materials and systems. Talk as usual, but with different thinking. This certificate is current one, you can see, and this certificate is old one. This was valid till 30th September 2021, and this is valid. We can say that this is valid up to 30th September 2025. Every 5 years, professional engineer certification is renewed. Once you are so approved, then there is certification as such, that is chartered engineer, as well as you can say this is chartered engineer certificate. This is related to corporate membership of institution of engineers, and this is your fellow membership certificate. I am trying to show you what is quality and what is expected. Can we reach this status, or we just want to remain confined to something that's not ours? This is old certificate, this is new certificate, and this is existing certification. I am trying to show you that when these exist, I mean to say, when these certificates exist, why we should not bother about such quality systems. We should bother about them because we bother about this. If there is a provision, there is a system about certification, why not there is a provision as such for implementing work? Quality is quality. We cannot say no. Quality is a requirement. Quality must be a mandate. Quality must be considered for each material, each product, each construction work or item or whatever structure, and quality must exist in lifetime, life happenings, life leads. We know that. Do we want to know that, or we know that? My answer is we know that. Your answer must be same. We know that. But if we know something and we do not know it, or we do not know it in fact or in physical terms, we do not want to worry about that, we do not concern about that, we can say we ignore it and we assume it exists. Assumption does not mean existence. If I talk of quality, this means it is not simply talk, it is a concern. You may say every day I talk. Yes, I talk every day. What's wrong with that? What's incorrect with that? And why do you take it so seriously that I talk it every day? Should I not talk? What is the reason behind that I should not talk? Even if there is quality survival, even system works with quality, and materials do not work with quality. What should I do? If I buy something, I should get quality material. If I buy, I'll be happy. I will not be very much concerned, because a trust is built up. Trust to achieve quality, trust to deliver quality, and trust to accept quality, and trust to expect quality. So many terms can be used. If I get quality, then I should not worry. I shall have trust in that manufacturer. industrialist and in that product. If I don't get quality, certainly I will doubt other products also, which you can say are quality one. 2021 and before that couple of years, and I don't know what shall happen in coming times as situation moves, life moves, quality does not move, unfortunately. It's not my statement, it's general statement. Quality system. Does it fail or we failed it? There are two ways. One is that we create something and we do not worry about that seriously. And when we are not serious, there is no way that we can do something. It's same thing as we have some book. Okay, you read this book and know about something, some subject, but we keep that book in our almirah or in drawer and never take it out to read. What happens then? I should say I have this book, I got this book and therefore I have knowledge. If I say that, this means what should I call myself? Stupid? Yes. I cannot say I read this book or I studied this book and understood until I read that. I cannot pass any examination based on contents of that book because I did not study. Same is here. If I want to take care of safety, health and environment, if I want to take care of quality system and quality of products, if I don't check them, if I don't practice them, if I don't concern about them, I can say I would not understand anything. Two issues in life are important. One is safe survival, safe physical body without any injuries which are expected everywhere. Safety is a cause of concern for everybody, and of course people are concerned about that because they know injury is next to follow if I don't care, and by chance they involve accidents due to many reasons. Ignorance, not to worry about traffic rules, not to worry about your own system at home. So many mishaps occur. But even then, it is first requirement to be safe. Safe internally, safe externally, safe on road, safe in work, safe in wherever you are. That's an important factor. Quality in safety is also important. Safety not simply doesn't mean simple safe. This means mentally safe. Awareness is important, but practice is more important. Quality means quality everywhere. Quality in mind also. If I think of something rubbish, my quality deters. It comes down. If I think something excellent, something more useful, if I concentrate in the right direction, I can say, yes, I am doing something good for myself, for others. And we say quality required everywhere, it is a must. If you say, no, it's not required everywhere, I think that is not a good statement. Quality required everywhere, in every act of life. I say in every act of life, and you should accept this. It's not only in material and product, in life acts. What do you do? How do you think? How do you proceed? What is our ambition? How do you take care of our family? How do you take care of society? How do you take care of nation? How do you take care of world? How do you take care of this earth? All these points are very significant, and this we say, you can say every activity in life, and this is where activity stands for. In engineering, it is very significant because engineering itself is a work of mind, work of material, use system, think of material, innovate, experiment, try, and find new ways of life. If I want and you want to change your lifestyle, make it better, it is engineering that can make it, it is systems that can make it. And if you want to make it worse, it is again saying it is bad engineering, it's bad acts that we do in life, it's greed, it's avarice. We say avarice is root of all evils. We say that, there's a phrase. Avarice means it kind of greed is root to evils or bad life. All time if you think of greed, I should get more and more benefit without caring about others and without caring of this world and without caring of nature. I have to consider my benefit only. That cannot survive because I am not alone in this world. I cannot say that everything belongs to me. Quality is that thought. Life is engineering based. It has to be accepted now. Without engineering, almost all activities cannot work. If no engineering, no life. You may say engineering is super life like medical science. Medical science is first requirement. It is very first requirement for health. And if medical science doesn't work, we can say life stops. Life is locked down, as happened in COVID-19. Whole world had to lock down from one time to other time because medical science failed, because people still don't know about COVID-19. Just an example it is, just a reference it is, that life failed to work smoothly when we had no medical answer. We had no scientific answer. Medical sciences, engineering sciences, general sciences, these are all quality considerations, quality word. Thinking is most important material. Thinking is most important mechanism for these professions, for these expert subjects, expert fields. In medical science, life is very important, treatment is very important, health is very important. Medical science can give that. It cannot give conscious, but it can make my falling body to stand. It can recover me from sickness. It can give me confidence of survival. Sciences give further ways how to move in every field of profession. Every professional field, you can say, and engineering is one that has no limits. Engineering has no limits. That is true. Because it means work, it means move, it means think, it means research, it means develop, it means learn from works, it means create works in which you have to move on a path that leads to one way, another way, further way, and you get, after covering a stream of points, you can get some you can say temporary or permanent residence, and that is destiny, development. Whatever project we have, whatever plans we have, we in our country or in all other countries, those all depend on chart out of power of mind. Medical plan, engineering plan, development plan, national plan, international plan, all those plans, there works a highest level of school of thoughts, contemplation, mental creation, proposition. Means they want to improve from a stage which exists currently to another stage which gives you better service, better level of life. Quality is not a word. It's not a term. It's not a system. It's life. It affects life. It affects everything. If quality of medicines is bad, it cannot treat patients. If quality of work is bad, it cannot be used to that purpose, for that purpose is for intended for. If designs are not good, works cannot be good. If designs are not sound, we cannot move further. Design in imagination, design is visualization, design on papers, design for projects. There are, you can say, each and every fundamental requirement. There are requirements. We have to stand, we have to meet them, we have to deliver these requirements. And requirements are always diverse because different type of peoples are available, different countries are available, different ways are available. Economical requirement, health requirement, systems requirement, educational requirement. There are so many requirements, and all these are neither independent nor dependent. Both are there. Some are dependent, some are dependent on life, some are dependent on economy. Means every way we have to understand. So I have covered such points here, and in this point of quality, in this page of quality, we can say that it may be industry, it may be manufacturing, or it may be construction, or whatever else. We have to comply with safety requirement, health requirement, environment requirement, and we have to use energies for all these works. Energies, our energies. And we can say that, we can always say that ergonomics, we call this science. Ergonomics is a science that tells everyone or directs everyone about how to use our and your energies, available energies for doing work activities in best possible manner, so that worker is least impacted adversely upon by adverse actions. And these requirements are certainly, you can say, a must. No way to say no to these requirements. It is important. We have to ask ourselves, are these requirements right or wrong, or we have to comply with? Safety first and quality must is my answer. सुरक्षा है तो दर्द नहीं, सुरक्षा नहीं है तो दर्द ही दर्द. If safety is conducted, what happens, and if safety is ignored, what happens? That is what you have to feel pain if you are not safe, and you have not to feel pain if you are safe. Quality has to be complied with by defined requirements, and quality ranges in elaborations. So engineers must realize this fact. Quality facts and safety facts. Engineers in इंडियन लैंग्वेज अभियंताओं को समझना होगा. क्वालिटी इज ए मस्ट, ए मस्ट, ए मस्ट. आई कैन से infinity times. Quality is a must to power infinity. Quality is a must to power infinity. Safety is first to power infinity. And civil engineers are backbone of society. Civil engineers are builders of society. Without civil engineers, no development can be achieved. Civil engineers know this and they understand this, but I don't know why sometimes they sleep temporarily, they dream temporarily. Civil engineers and all other engineers are social changers, life changers, standards changers. They give society something that no one else can give. If civil engineers projects are successful, society gets, further advancement. Without civil engineering, you cannot move a single step It may be civil life or it may be army life, it may be whatever life. Foundation stone is civil engineering and electrical engineering, also mechanical engineering, and all other engineering to some extent, you can say, not elementary extent. So we have to understand this point. Work commitment to be made and fulfilled for delivery. All other parameters to deal with for quality requirements. Designs of structures, designs of structures and others must be made decisive, safe, qualitative, and must be reliable for prosecution. We design structures, we design our business functions, business organizations, we design everything in life, and design is done for clothes, design is done for interior decoration, design is done for each and every day. We call it design because we have to sign something, and pre-stage of signing is called design, how to structure out. So here I am talking of life design, I am talking of quality designs, I am talking of safety designs, I am talking of construction and whatever else, manufacturing and industry works. All these are designs. How do we think can be called design? How do we solve problems? We can say it is design. How do we propose something? That is also design. How do you work? That is a kind of design. How do you think? That's a design. So you can say from dream to reality, from dream to physical transformation, and further, all these are designs. Design can be a plotting, design can be based on truth, design can be fact. People call design in negative sense also. Yes, in criminal words, design is used in negative sense because you have to chart out planning for conducting crime, how you want to do crime so that you are not caught. That is also design. Sometimes we plot something to harm others. We plot something to harm others. That is also design. Means how do you plot? We plot, okay, I want to harm this person. This person is my enemy. So I want to chart out certain route, certain step, plot, conspiracy you can say. And that conspiracy is also a design part. Same way we design some structure for benefit of society, for development society, and that's also design part. We design certain way how to do it. We have many alternatives. We select some alternative and we can say yes, I am going to finalize, I am going to chart out this phase so that we can do it in the best possible manner. That's also a design. So what I say, design and our life are related. We should realize that fact. And we say all stages designs being significant. All stages designs being significant, but merely design does not alone suffice. Designing is not adequate if construction and developments are not affected to specified marks. If we design something, we have to keep in mind what is our intention of doing this work, what do we want to achieve, are we going to achieve that, and if we achieve that, we can say yes, this design has been successful. We do not have to modify this design to achieve our leftover. If we get that, I think and say it's a reality. If we get what is specified for or what we intended to do, and that defined quality requirement we can get, we can achieve, or we cannot be allowed to be ignored. You can say ignorance doesn't work. If you design something, we have to keep on that track for doing something. Quality input, we say, is very important. Design drawings and details must have quality input and duly coordinated to produce working details. Why do we call them working details? Because those details are meant for work on a scheme drawing. That drawing we call sometimes, which can be easily understood and easily practiced and implemented. Working detail we can call it, or we can call it safe fabrication detail, we can call it shop detail. Means it should finally result in work, what we dreamed for. Now we keep abreast all these requirements, conditions and culture of working, culture in society and culture in engineering at different levels, because it is our design. If I design, you design, whatever level of design we do, it should be best one, best not in a sense of decoration, best in a sense of first it has to meet our requirements, it has to meet intended purpose, and we have to keep in a way that those people, those engineering personnel or workers who contribute physical energy to this work, whatever it is, it should be done efficiently, with safety, with good quality performance, with good workmanship, so that it works forever, so that it is durable or it is long living for designed length of life, designed durability. Everything must be in clear terms and should be clearly understood based on experience. Construction is very important factor in our life. Purpose is construction in our budget, in our, you can say, expenditures. It's most cost part. I think percentage wise construction, I am talking of all constructions, it amounts to about 60 to 70% or maybe more for construction, on construction, in development. I think in all over world, construction of whatever kind is very, I think major activities are involved in construction, and construction is related to, is based on manufacturing, on industrial activities. Construction includes raw materials or natural materials as well as products from industries or manufacturing. Both are involved. Concrete cannot be used if steel bars are not available. Structural steel cannot be used if foundation concrete is not available or foundations are not available. Roads can't be constructed if natural stone is not available. Roads can't be constructed if land is not available. Likewise, you can say natural materials are used, artificial materials are used, manufactured materials are used, services are used. You can say in every construction we have different kinds of services which are must to be included, and if you don't include that, that product cannot work, that constructed delivery cannot work. So everything is directly and indirectly involved, linked, has to be coordinated for final construction. And a building which we construct, it is to be served. It's not simply, you can say, columns, walls, or only walls and roof, and we can stay. That could be when there are no services. But now our buildings are not old types. These are modern buildings in which every service is required, and you all know that. This means if building is qualitative, services must be qualitative. It may be mechanical service, electrical service, HVAC service, plumbing service, sanitary service, gas service, whatever service. Our building should talk. Yes, I am having this service, don't worry. I shall keep you safe even in fire. I shall keep you safe even in earthquake. I shall keep you safe when there is fast wind. I shall keep you safe if you ventilate me properly. I shall keep you safe, healthy, if you respect my construction, if you respect my design. What building says is this: I am in your service, I shall be in your service for a long time to come. I can serve you for 100 years, for 200 years, for 50 years, as you desire, provided you keep me safe, do not damage me, maintain me, and do not abuse me when I am bored. Construction time of a building is called its birth. It's born, it's delivered. And design time is its mental work. So we can say, just like a baby processed in 9 months, our buildings are also processed accordingly. No building can be produced in one day or just by, you can say, in a few couple of hours. It's all imagination. Even prefabricated units or precast units which are delivered to sites, we say, oh, it's only procured from there, transport and install. That is one activity only, that we transport it and erect on sites. But what is background? What happens in back? Generally, people know, some people know, some don't know. It's same thing. You watch a film for 2.5 hours or 3 hours, but it takes 1 year or 2 years for you can say delivery, for processing, for you can say construction of that film, for you can say direction of that film, writing, dialogue, all that chain of process or train of process exists. Construction, when we say construction, it's not simply physical construction. Construction means every act of constructions. It says construction based on reasonable coordinated construction quality designs and safety, health, environment. All activities must be taken care of, but it doesn't happen. Reasons being lethargy in attitude and undue strains in minds. Why should site work suffer because of deficiencies in designs? Design accountability must be fixed. Designs accountability must be fixed. It's nothing new. You all know design is an intellectual work. It's an intellectual work. It requires total use of mind. It requires total conception, total analysis, total synthesis and delivery of your mind onto some ideas or proposition, and you bring that to world by transmitting it from your mind to some paper or to some computer system, AutoCAD or whatever else. We deliver some kind of design drawing, and it is further amended and modified, and finally we say, yes, this is what we have to dream and see. And then after so many other activities, same design is produced in form of physical structure. This means from mental state to site state, long chain of activities work. Long chain of activities work. This means originally that design is converted to physical activity, physical product, and that works for coming many decades. If we want to use that power, because we include nature in that, by including for permanent use natural materials and natural agencies also, we use human resources, we use mechanical resources, we use mentally produced technology. All these inputs are very expensive. Expensive not only in terms of finance, in terms of all other, you can say, physical acts, in terms of human resources, machine resources, and whatever you can say, life savings. We get something and we feel very happy that we have got it, we have standardized ourselves. But that standardization, that quality life doesn't come in one go. It takes time for its construction, it takes time for its service, and it works for a long time to come. If we sometimes you can see a construction is meant and used for your coming generations. You might be living in a house or a building that was given or produced by your forefathers and still use that it's my property. Yes, that's right. We use that, and that is really, you can say, prosperity of life. You are born in a place where you are given natural gift. We have to understand all these points. These are not specific points, but these are real points. When we say that design and construction, in both quality element, quality system is a must. I don't feel bored every time. Believe me, I don't feel bored every time when I talk of quality and safety. I keep quality in my mind. Though though I throughout my life I have been quality oriented, but I never got any positive courage from everyone. From everyone. I have felt normally even engineers, they are not too hard and fast. They are not having degree of smartness, of quality working, quality concept. They say quality I have to take, but sometimes, or you can say often, a word comes into between that destiny of quality and normal work. Handling normal people like contractor, like others, and they use a term that is called compromise, or let it go this time, next time we shall think. Let it go this time. What happened this time? I don't know what happened this time. And if you ask that man, that person, that engineer, why do you say let us accept this time? What is reason behind that? We understand what is reason behind that. Everything should not be explained because it damages reputation of community. You may say when engineer comes out of university, you think engineer thinks of bad quality. No engineer can think of that. Reason being, first of all, quality is not taught. What is quality? Quality cannot be taught in school, just like character cannot be taught, morals cannot be taught. No teacher can teach you quality except some mechanism. Except some mechanism. We can say this is construction, how you have to do. This is designs. There are subjects of designs, applied mechanics, strength of material, theory of structure, designs of RCC, designs of steel structure, design of pre-stress, and design of many other dams. You can say designs of canal, designs of towers, designs of buildings. You can say there is no limit, and what is the syllabus? All same. We are taught, you can say, basics in engineering. Theory is always very important, and without theory we cannot understand anything. Though theory is distant from people, a lot of theory which people are not clear of in every country. What is educational system? And you can say 90% of university timings are spent on such subjects of theory in every subject. That is very good. Theoretical background should be very strong. It's good. Nobody declines this. There are about 35 to 40 subjects in every engineering syllabus. You have to study in 4 or 5 or 6 years. And of course we know that if you compare it, what duration is given to one subject. Let us say there are 35, so minimum taking, let's say 35 subjects, and we have 5 years means 60 months, or if you have 4 years means 48 months. This means about 1.5 month, or gross month, not working days. About 1.5 month is allotted to one subject. And you see, books are thick, and that stage of student up to 25 years, you can say, between 20 to 25 years, that stage is very, you can say, fragile for mind. Some point student understands, some points student don't understand because they have not seen practical work. They have not seen manufacturing, they have not seen industrial works, they have not seen, you can say, construction. Yes, they just visit certain sites, and just visiting is not adequate in engineering world. Engineering is very vast, it's very expensive. You can see software. When computers started, there was hardly one or two softwares, and now I don't know how many softwares exist in market. And every month or every quarter you will find update on that. Every day some site update every day, and it's sometimes very difficult to actually know which software I'm using. Is it updated one or not updated one? So same way IT engineering it is, and non-IT engineerings are there. We have to understand these points, that life goes on moving. Just 1.5 months on a subject is not enough. It's not enough. That is only, you can say, it just like when we study English, we say A for apple, B for boy. Likewise, C for cat, D for this. We study that. And we study further English, we say, okay, let us learn now translation. Translation from your language to English language, or translation from your language to some other language. We study that. It takes time also there. But it's not enough. That's why I say, when you enter engineering field, after having a right of engineering education, you have got it. So you can enter that field. You can say it is a kind of understanding that this candidate, this qualified or educated engineer passed out, has a mind built up to understand what is happening, what happens on works, and that understanding that person can develop. That is only purpose of engineering education. Likewise, it is purpose for all other educations. A medical student studies in college, studies in university, and that student learns a lot. That student learns engineering. Light is a problem. Sorry. That students learn, and that learning is important. That learning, actually you can say, learning starts when you enter field of engineering. Their learning starts, real learning. In university we learn very basics, even though papers of designs are very lengthy. It takes whole day. When I was a student, I appeared in examination subject of design. It took whole day, you can say about 8 hours on that paper, design paper. You can see, means you are given a question, 2 or 3 questions. You have to select yourself 2 questions or 3 questions out of many questions. You have to design that. You have to propose something, you have to design that, and not only design, you have to draw it. You have to design, you have to draw, and before that you have to justify why you are going to do this. It means you have to justify proposition in every aspect. In every aspect. And that's point, you can say, very important point. We have to be clear about that. So life, you can say, is a test. Life is education. I am qualified. I am experienced. I am higher experienced. Every day, every project teaches us. Without that, we cannot learn. And technologies keep on changing. It keeps on advancing. Methods basically are same. Design formula are basically same. Some are based on derivations which cannot change, and some are based on observations which we can call empirical formulas. Those can also not change. Methods can change, materials can change depending on requirements, depending on ecosystem. everything changes. There was a time that people did not have doors and windows, but openings were left, and there was a time when people used timber doors and windows, wooden doors and windows, and that time also has changed because timber is not available. Reason being, trees have been removed. So there is life change, means life changes whole system. You remember timber doors were used, then we had steel doors. Today also we have timber doors, but these are not very, you can say, high scale, sometimes really, and it's very expensive also. Then they used, and before timber, bamboos were used. Bamboos, these bamboos, we can call it ballis, we call it, and before that something else might have been used. Sometimes there was no concrete, and you can say people used to use, I think even not bricks were available at that time, they used stones only. And stones, then thatch roof. Likewise, it developed, evolution happened. It's still happening. We have steel doors. Steel is also natural material, processed material. It's also expensive. Then we had aluminum system we have, plastic fabrication we have. Means it is changing and it depends on, but people did not realize ecosystem. Just like we can say plastics, that has spoiled our life. Benefit is less, but you can say merits are less, but demerits are multifold. It's only because of plastic that today we have been facing lot of difficulties of pollution, of environment degradation. Ultimately, these are related to hydrocarbons byproducts. Plastic has made life hell. I got one information from news about 20 billion or 10 billion, I don't exactly remember, 20 or 10 billion tons of plastics waste are lying all over the world. You think it's not heavy density, it's not high density material, yet so many billion tons. Yes, if it is like steel, we can say no problem. It's not steel. It's non-degradable plastic that cannot deteriorate, that cannot, even change its chemistry. That plastic I'm talking, which is polymer, we can say, we may say, based on byproducts of refineries where fossil fuels are produced, petroleum products, by-petroleum products, ethane, methane, propane, butane, crack gas, all this. Likewise, we have spoiled our life. We can say engineering that way or chemistry that way has changed our life to a level where from it's very difficult, almost impossible to come back. Carbon dioxide levels, we call it greenhouse. Beautiful term, greenhouse. Means we have housed greenery. We have house system, according to my understanding, is that greenery has gone. Green doesn't mean plants. This means happiness. This means a clear signal to go, to move out. And red signal says, stay, hold. This system has become, greenhouse has become because of red light. We cannot pass through. Even you can say our layer that gives life to everybody on earth, that protects its life from ultraviolet impact, and that we call ozone layer. Ozone layer in skies up to where earth is affected, that layer has been depleted. There is no much news on ozone layer these days. I have not seen for a couple of years. Very important, because they know they have destroyed it to that level. We get ultraviolet radiations on earth in excess of requirement. Sometimes in summer, in hot, we see ultraviolet index is 12, 13, 11, 10, while it should not be more than 3. or 4 according to safety. It's a part of safety. You may say how it is safe? Because it impacts your body. Excessive radiations from ultraviolet rays are harmful, and these are excessive because ozone layer has been weakened by our ecosystem, by ourselves, by these release of bad gases into environment, use of petrochemicals, petrol, diesel, all these gases, industrial gases. So you cannot say one is responsible and other one is not responsible. We should say that actually it is all because of engineering sciences and engineering that we did not take care. Some people told even at that time when petrol was initiated in beginning that this would harm society, this would harm nature. But everybody was in narcotism to advance to make money using natural resources. And today also is same. Everybody knows that coming time shall be badly affected by COVID-19. Yes, even then economy has been kept on higher level than health and safety. The report says that so many people have died, millions of people have died. It says that about 750,000 people have lost their lives in USA. About 100, you can say about 100,000 people have lost their lives in UK. Likewise in our country, Bharat, India, they say something, I don't agree with that. According to my observation, according to my assessment, not observation, it's about, you can say, 25 lakhs lost their lives, means 2.5 million people have lost their lives. I don't care what government says or what world says. Keeping all this in mind, we have to really understand quality of life, and that's what engineering does. Design and construction qualities are complementary to each other, and without integrated coordination, activities worked upon shall result in lesser quality results, lesser quality achievements, lesser quality destiny. Construction is a field where we can say almost natural materials are used. Construction has no limits. Construction is such a field, it goes on and on and on. We use natural materials. We use chemistry in that, means cement, for example, it's a chemical product. People may not know it. Cement, previously it was OPC, ordinary Portland cement. It's a chemical product, but people think it's not. It has limestone in this. Limestone is also calcium carbonate. It has in this silica, which is organic soil. It has many other chemicals added to it. Ultimately, you can say it is chemical product. Stones we use are natural product, which also having some chemicals in them. Also we use river sand, we use pit sand, we use stone dust. Means these are all directly related to nature. Nature has some structural designs in all these materials. We have steel used in construction. Steel bars are called carbon steel bars. We have carbon content. There is no water itself is a chemical, H2O. We say engineering chemistry, engineering sciences are excellent for our development. Simultaneously, it is also related to demerits of these materials. When you get merits of this material and use in our life, demerits also move along with merits. Construction is necessary for development, and it helps society, it helps everyone to have good accommodation, good roads, good buildings, good life, good facilities, and quality of life has changed actually. No one can deny this fact. Quality of life is no more we go to fields for squatting or for urination. We use toilets. We don't take bath on roads. We take baths in bathrooms, washrooms. That means life has changed. Textile engineering gives us best clothes if we think this is best. Same way agriculture engineering has given you products. Likewise, engineering has changed our life. And that's why I reiterate that life is a change. Change of life is engineering, and engineering is very important material, very important science, very important discipline, very important field, and engineering means use of mind. Engineering doesn't mean degree only. Engineering means a person who does something for practical use, who does something, that mechanism is involved. It is called application of engineering. Examples are masonry is engineering application, form work is engineering application, steel cutting and bending is engineering application, welding item is engineering application. You can say plumbing, you can say whatever activity, fabrication, working on lathe machine, working on something else, wherever technology is involved, it is engineering. And engineering, that's why there are so many branches of engineering, because one branch cannot control every aspect. There's a time when environment engineering merged itself, or it was a part of civil engineering. Now it is a separate discipline. When I studied, it was limited to public health services. There was a subject we used to call public health services, and that included water supply system, sewage treatment system, delivery system, disposal system, and you can say some part of environment, and that was a part of civil engineering. Now it is a specialized part of environment engineering. That's a new one, but theory is same, subjects are same except few. So we can say that life has changed, new branches have come in, and life moves like that. Now previously there were few engineering, now there are many, more than 15, 20 engineering. So this means science moves, it has moved, it is moving, and when science moves, science means all sciences, medical science, engineering science, or you can say those sciences which are directly or indirectly linked to everyone. So construction I am talking here, construction is based on sciences. Construction is based on engineering. It is engineering construction. It is construction for development. And this should be, you can say, based on some system, based on some methods, and those methods are very important to be cleared of. We cannot depend on one method, we cannot depend on one formula. We have to think on and we have to assess which is best one. Everybody can think of, I can think of some work how to do it, my colleague can think of different way, likewise contractor can different another way, and if you can say every person has different approach, but principle is same, that we have to consider its cost, we have to consider time, and we have to consider quality, and we have to consider if another fourth item is also necessary to be included in this. And design has to consider all these items, not only design points but also construction points, construction criteria. Every designer has to realize. Design is such an activity. Design activity is very, I can respect that. I respect that wholly. It's like It's like religion, it's like dharma, that design is, because ultimately it's going to impact society. It is duty of designer to realize all this. It's not a piece of work. Design is not a piece of work. It's a piece of mind application. Design, vision itself takes time. Once vision is clear, one's mind is clear, then you can say that can be processed on papers. Calculations can be done, design theories can be applied, and we can find, final design that is going to be converted to physical world, physical project, physical item. This means there is a lot in designs. It's idea, another refined idea, then another refined idea. And then we enter into details of designing. And those details are enormous. And those details are actually responsible, not your vision. Those details based on your vision, which you are going to give to someone, that you do like this. And those details are actual methods of designs and work. If those details are understood well, conveniently, efficiently, without wasting time, without wasting material, and quality can be achieved to some extent, you can say, if you perform it. It's not management, it is thought, it's research. Management doesn't apply there, though we call it management, total quality management. I think it is something else. It is devotion, it is dedication, it is supervision, it is surveillance on something already defined. We can say construction method statement, a must for work implementation, and therefore must be charted out professionally. No concession can be allowed on this activity. Method statement for work procedure is a must, and it should tell formally about what is to be done on site. We cannot ignore this fact. We cannot ignore this fact, and then comes point of reliability, which already I have explained many times, but we can explain it unlimited times, because it's a question of reliability. Reliability. Again and again, we have to see, as much as reliable something is, that much trust you get on that item. And if it is not reliable, that much level of condemnation you can use for that item. Reliability cannot be defined in simple terms, because it has many components within it that are applied with, and those are limited. Beyond that also we can go, but for purpose of designs, for purpose of construction, we confine ourselves to certain parameters only. Because if we go on explaining, charting out to an extent, then we may not be able to do that. So when we say we have to do something concrete, we have to define, we have to refine, and we have to restrict ourselves to certain limitations, and those limitations, you can say, we can define for purpose of practical work. Otherwise, no work can be completed. It remains as a story or poetry. We do not want poetry or story, because work is neither based on poetry, it's not based on a story, it's based on reality. We have to start something and we have to end something. We have to start sometime, someday, and we have to finish it according to schedule, that work one day, and that we can say project it is. When you start something, you have to finish something. Finish means that work is over which you started, It's when say every work can be a project, every job can be a project, and project means whatever jet you in your mind. Project. Whatever image in your mind, that image is going to be built on site into physical form, not image. So reliability is that, it is liability, it is accountability, it is responsibility. We have to think that way. Article meaning of reliability, liability, reliability. First, it is requirement, then it is liability, ability to do it. Ability to do it, not to lie. Something I lie, I'm not saying the lie ability. You have to stand on that, you have to rest on that, you have to bank upon that, and then again you bank upon that. After one time, it's reliability. When again and again and again, so it is reliability. So we use one constant, and that is re. We don't square it, we don't give any exponent to that one, and we say reliability. It's very important item, reliability. We cannot condemn it. It can't be condemned because it is reliability. We have to keep this point in our mind. It's very important point. We can say, if you do something, we have to, at design time itself, we have to keep safety delivered by that item. First of all, that item, that work which we think of, it should be safe, it should give safety to user from every involved factor. This is first point. Then once it is itself safe, then it can serve. This means whatever purpose was considered, whatever purpose was kept in view, that purpose should be served by that product. And it's not only one service, it is unlimited service. Means until that product lives in or that product is used, you can say until its durability works, it should serve that purpose. And on top of that, all other necessary resources involved, applicable knowledge areas, factors, which resources must be understood and achieved in all procedures, or else one should learn before taking responsibility, and all foregoing issues must be considered along with possible risks. It's not easy to debate on reliability because it's as such. Reliability can be defined in a number of ways, but we define in our way because we have to achieve it. Who can deny that it should be safe? No one can deny. Who can deny that it should deliver its purpose? No one can deny. And who can say that no, it should not work for 100 years, it should work only for a couple of months or years? No one can say. Because it is money, it is cost, it is time, it is efforts, everything is, no one can destroy it. No one can destroy it. That is fundamental principle. We have to produce something for use, for development. But that can be achieved only when keep in mind safety, successful safety factor, successful health factor, successful environment factor, successful quality inclusions, temporary quality, or you can say temporary work quality, you can say preparatory work quality, you can say actual work quality or product quality. And that quality never ends. It should improve rather than deteriorate. It should not deteriorate. That's not acceptable. So here we can say, for that purpose, we have not to conduct only analysis, we have to conduct a chain of analysis, a long train of analysis. We have to realize that fact. I'm not talking simply theoretical analysis or procedure analysis. I'm talking something separate. Mental analysis. Analysis based on mind. Just a minute, let me see like this status. Sorry. Sorry. I'm just putting on my fan for a couple of minutes so that I should sit comfortably. Okay. I'm talking of analysis. Analysis which is a requirement at every stage of work. Analysis, if people are analytical, I think they become intellectuals. There are very few people who are analytical. I don't find analytical people. I find only those who say yes, yes and yes. There is nothing wrong in saying yes, but there is also a requirement of saying why. Why? Explain. Why do you say that? Can you explain? And why cannot do something else? Or just accepting everything? Well, I think that does not work. That does not work to accept everything. That's not right. That's not right. We have to realize this fact also, that life moves on facts and not on imaginations. Analysis, we can say professionally, a master tool it is for work, design work, or you can say planning work, quality work, also physical work. Every contemplation you can consider, it is considered an exclusive engineering basis, an intellectual tool that can penetrate into all problems. And when you can penetrate into all problems, what happens? You can unearth required solutions, because solutions are hidden there. These are already there, but we do not know them. We want to extract them, and that's the only way. And there exists no way from where or through which analysis approaches could be avoided. You have to use analysis, or else problems cannot be solved. That point is very important from engineering aspect. Our title is like field engineering. What does it mean? Field. It is engineering field. It contains all requirements. It contains all subjects. Some people think it's only construction field. No, it is engineering field. It includes designs, it includes construction, it includes maintenance, every part, and throughout its durability, throughout its life, it requires that. When it's not project, it's operational unit, because after project it becomes operational unit. Maybe some people are not clear about that. During construction it's called construction project, and when it's called project means it is temporary life. Life of project is temporary, but life of operation unit is not temporary, it's permanent. Construction of a building may take 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever period you allow, and once it is constructed, it's delivered, it's occupied and used, or you can say commissioned. It may work for 100 years, 50 years, or whatever period. So where is the scale? 2 to 3 years, 4 years versus, or in ratio to 100 years? This means that operation, that use of that building is for about 10 to 20 times than its construction time. Life of project is very small, tiny, you can say, if you compare it to durability, if you compare to lifelong use. Project time is very limited, but that limited time is very significant for that 100 years during which this building is going to be used. Keep this in mind. Your limited time produces something which is going to be seen by your grandsons and their grandsons. This point must be kept. This is a kind of requirement analysis. We cannot say that we can demolish this building in 1 year. No one can say that. A natural provision is concrete we produce today. We think it's got so much compressive strength. After 1 month it shall have that much. After 1 year it shall that much. And it goes on and on, gaining something. That is an important point, because we are manufacturers of that. We can change ratio, we can do something, and we change life of concrete. We can add steel, we can change life of concrete. And when life of concrete is changed, our lives are changed. We generally use term concrete. Oh yes, this is concrete decision, this is concrete requirement. There concrete is used as a verb or some other parts of speech. So we have to keep in mind these points, which are very important all time. Field engineering, life, engineers, quality, designs, etc., etc. Purpose was to explain something which is related to quality system that generally followed. We follow that, and we cannot avoid that. We understand that. Quality system, I talked about contracting quality, certain points, and I want to move further on those points. I had talked about clause 1 with you, that is AnnexSL. We talked about clause 2, normative references. Clause 1 was scope, clause 2 is normative references. Clause 3, terms and definitions. Clause 4 is, then we have here context of organization, and then we have here clause 5. First let us finish context of organization before going to next one, because we are talking of scope considered by organization. Let us start here. So we last time discussed up to we intend to integrate on existing list of stakeholders many top profiles investors who could add more power to this organization so that value on our share continuously rises. So let us stay here. Organization consider every contract project to be provide at least minimum percentage of profit. So we can say, okay, we can start here. We can start at point number 15. Let us say we can move from here to some you can say some kind of you may say refresh mechanism, and then we continue. And it is external issues are site coordinations. External issues are site coordination with statutory and government authorities, appointed architects, all that we discussed. Other one is organization leader make sure that there should be no delay on conducting work supervision and work deliveries schedule, which works, if delayed, shall mar site prosecution and impose on consequential delays on project completion, leading to imposing contract provided penalties, which called liquidated damages. That point we had lightly discussed. Then we can say organization leader make sure that liquidated damages must be avoided, and also organization considers that every project should provide at least a minimum percentage of profit. Yes, here's the point. Now let's go to have a brief discussion on contract, because it is contract of construction or contract of EPIC. We are discussing contract of construction contract, or you can say at international level it is called red book mechanism. Red book, FIDIC red book, you can call it. FIDIC is an organization that charts out formats of contract, not mandatory but advisory, you can say like advisory level, and we can get these documents for help. Though help is contractual, it's just to give you information about that book. Now we say that we are an organization, contracting organization, And contractor organization means an organization that leads to delivery of whatever design required. Design requirement can be realized only when work is done. Work is done. It's not simple work, it's project, whole project. There are hundreds of works, there are thousands of items, hundreds of items, and quantities depend on requirement. Sometimes it is millions, sometimes billions. On projects of refineries, projects of, you can say, oil, or you may say mega projects, there is no limit. This means it's a question of achievement. If I do some project as an engineer, as a contractor, I can say this is my achievement. Engineer can say I designed this project, and contractor can say I did this project, I constructed this project. Both are important because without design's availability, contractor cannot do anything. Without design's availability, contractor cannot do anything. And without contract, without working on sites, engineer cannot do anything. So we can say both are complementary to each other. Design complements work execution, and work execution respects designs. If work execution doesn't respect design, we cannot do good work. We cannot do reliable work. We cannot say anything. But engineer accepts this, that we have to comply with designs, we have to comply with all requirements, and that is engineering demand. And it is naturally contractual demand, and contract is a part of engineering because it is called engineering construction contract, engineering design contract, total construction project, or EPC, EPIC. I shall talk EPC later on. Now we are just interested in talking very general, very elementary, and with which you have to learn. If engineer wants to learn practical life, we have to learn about construction in beginning of career, and after that, when we clearly understand problems in construction, next step should be that we enter design. Or even if we are in designs, from beginning itself, we are responsible, we are liable, we are accountable. We should know all activities of construction. It doesn't mean you have to stay on sites for 20 years. Means you must have certain knowledge of site work, and those works are repetitive. You can go to site and study how it is done. It is not necessary that you have to involve full time. You have to involve to extract, to get that knowledge which we can never get from books. Never. Difference in engineering and medical is very clear. Medical is limited to human, and engineering is limited to development. Both requirements are different. Medical science is limited to, it is, you can say, responsible for human health. Human health. It's responsible for animals' health. It's responsible for human health. While engineering sciences or engineering is responsible for development health, for prosperity health. Prosperity health, you can say, what prosperity we do have. And human health is first consideration because human works in construction, human works in designs, and human uses all product. So engineering is a kind of service that we provide to people for whatever others cannot provide. It is exclusively for prosperity, for meeting original requirements, or you can say it is not something we can copy and paste. It is something that has to be delivered. Even if there is repetition of project, there will be many differences. We may say, oh, there are so many buildings, you can design, what's the problem? One drawing is enough. People can say that. One drawing is enough. Yes, drawing is enough from point of view of some requirement. It's not enough for every point. If you are constructing many buildings in one area even, where you can find different soil properties, it's not necessary what building this is. Building 1 has some properties of soil and building 2 will have same properties. We cannot assume that. Therefore, you can say no to designs are same, no to requirements are same. These are all specific requirements. When we say specific requirements, this means specifications are different. And when specifications are different, our procedure will be different, our activity shall be different. We have to change parameters of same activity. There can be construction, there can be excavation also. That's very important part of construction. Excavation is very important part, we know. There can be many stratas below ground that we have to deal with. How do we know that? That we can know only through soil investigation or by experience in that area what strata exists. And stratas are never constant. Sometimes one strata is here at this point, maybe after 2 meters strata changes, nobody knows. So we have to deal with such variation. We have to deal with such varying state of strata, soil, surface of earth. That is unknown until we know it. And that's why I say you cannot say two structures are same. Maybe superstructure is same, substructure is not same. You understand? Superstructure and substructure. Substructure means foundations. In fact, plain speech, we can say foundation means substructure, and area that you use, that is superstructure. Ground floor, first floor, second floor, all that which are around that. And sometimes basement is also superstructure. It's not foundation. So we can say superstructure means that is going to be used, and substructure is that is going to be permanent, included in foundations. We call it substructure and superstructure. So substructure can never be same. Yes, superstructures can be same because these are not related to natural requirement. These are not related to something. But we should remember that superstructure and substructure are related. They have to work together in designs. So we can say if substructure varies, if foundation varies, naturally superstructure varies. Integrally, if we consider substructure and superstructure, we have to consider structurally integrity because of designs. We cannot say superstructure is one design and substructure is another design. Both are linked together, both are same as far as structural engineering is concerned. As far as designs are concerned, foundations and superstructure work together as one unit. That is only in education that questions are asked. Design a column, design a beam, design a frame. Our question is design this foundation when these loads are available. And that is only for purpose of education. That's only for purpose of training, because in 4 or 5 years period, engineering cannot be taught in absolute terms. Only ideas are taught. Mind is trying to be built for engineering. There is different purpose. But when we talk of applications in field of engineering, it is entirely different one. And that's why training is required on job. Real training, you can say training on projects is required. And if we don't have that elementary training, we cannot do anything. And that's why this quality system comes into play. If I am an engineer, I am working in a company, that company expects something from me. First requirement is that I should know good engineering, and second is that I should understand economy also. I should understand all other subjects for good use of my knowledge. It's not one item or two item, one subject or two subject. It's miscellaneous kind of work where sometimes you use your subject knowledge in some work and sometimes you use subject knowledge in some other work. And then on top of all these requirements, we can say common sense. Common sense is very important. Common sense is that sense which you cannot generalize. You cannot generalize. Sometimes one idea works here, then you have another idea also. During work itself, you can change idea, you can divert from the original idea because you find some problems. So what I say in contracting, it's very important that we are a contractor. Yes, that's first requirement. And we have second requirement, ultimate requirement, that we should make something out of it. Every contractor wants profit. We cannot deny that fact. Why should work? Why should someone work without profit? So that profit is also genuine. We cannot deny that fact. We should not say, no, I don't care about profit. No, we have to care about profit. And that's a part of work that one should be rewarded. And that's not, you cannot say it is 50% profit or 60% profit. It's nominal profit, which is acceptable. So every company thinks that it should get more and more profit on that construction project. Because profit is their growth. Profit enhances future prospects. And of course, liability is covered. So if you don't have profit, then how can you meet those liabilities which can happen? So it is different part, but it is important part. Nobody wants to lose. When they say we want to help you, particularly Europeans and West people say, yes, I am interested to help you, but I am not interested to help you at my loss. If I lose something and I help you, there is no good relation established in that. I have to help you means I have to help myself. Even if I don't get any profit, I should not lose what I have. Up to that level I can help you. If you want more help, I can't help you. If I get some profit, okay, I benefit. Something is better. What it says, organization considers that every contract project should provide at least a minimum percentage of profit for covering business growth requirements and also to induct input for future progression in various directions. Organization does not believe in considerable losses to be received on projects. Being a contracting organization, we contemplate at least a minimum of calculated profits in a given defined time on project. We are responsible management organization having a consistent and competent leadership who intends to provide them a good expected profit, if not enormous, so that in stocks we remain important, competitive. We go next further on this study, we'll find that our past history is an attractive one to an extent. Percentage of profit is related to, as well as percentage of its growth related to. We intend to integrate on existing list of stakeholders many top profile investors who could add more power to this organization so that value on our share continuously rises. This is, you can say, business style. We have to express ourselves, what we are, and I am sure nobody would criticize its own existence. Everybody claims its standards, its service, its proficiency. Every manufacturer says my material is best. These are merits of this, these are specifications of this. You can compare with others. This is trend. But reality comes to fact when people use those items. People procure those items and use them. These items serve intended purpose, and these are long running, long duration moving items. It only can be known by time, not same way, and therefore it takes long duration that you can trust some organization, or else it's same thing, you buy something and stop buying from that organization, go to some other organization. But unfortunately now system is that unity exists among business people, and that harms everything. That's why I'm saying profit is fine, but limit is there. We cannot expect more than that, and if you expect more than that means it is only, by bad means, by ill means. You cannot expect something out of box. Out of box you cannot expect something, and if you do out of box means it is out of acceptance criteria. As we said, we want to expand ourselves, we want to have more stakeholders, we want to have more people, and who can become our more power generation. We can move further, because here is question of liability of all. Here is question of, you can say, sufferings for all and use of organization for all. That is very important point. Now what we say, scope considered by organization. What is our scope? If somebody asks me about my organization, what is my scope? Ideally you would say something, practically it may be different, because we have to keep our name, we have to declare ourselves what we are, what's our scope. So we can say our current scope is progressively and dynamically working business on RCC buildings. That's what we want. That is originally we are. We are, you can say, experienced on this, but this is not our destination. We have a destination, and that is EPC or EPIC. Means from construction level we want to go to design and construction level, and that is what we can say, EPIC or EPC. We have to move to that level. So here is what it says. We have to move to that level. That is, our current scope is progressively, as I said, progressively and dynamically working business on RCC construction, buildings construction particularly, and though it can cover other construction also, but let us constrain to construction of buildings or structures. And then we focus on to reach stage of EPC. So we can say, meanwhile managing leaders do have opinion to enter EPC or EPIC contracting in coming 5 years target period. Target period is 5 years, which is neither too less nor too more. It is natural that you must have some experience. One research team, our research team, remains partly busy on charting out its strategy, how to accede to field related to EPC, engineering, procurement and construction, bidding across this or various other economies, means various other countries, not only in these countries. So we can say we have worked over times for initiating such approach, so that we may consider contracting many potentials EPC organizations and be either with them as joint venture partners, or they award us respective civil works on EPC ongoing contracts, for which we have adequate potential to deliver requirements owned by EPC operations. I think it's not written statement alone, it's understandable. Every company which is expert in construction, when it thinks that it has got a level, it has got some organization system that we can take care of construction, so next step is that we have to change our structure of company in such a way that we have we are able to establish some design team also. For that purpose, if you want to move forward, we must have design elements with us, and that's where it is required. To effect entry to EPC, organization often chart out its strategy with international leading EPC organizations to compete on civil works subcontracts, so that we earn relative experience which may help us work with them in future. So intermediate stage here is, as a contractor of construction, you want to convert to contractor for engineering procurement and construction. For that purpose, you have to move with some organization temporarily who are EPC 1, just to know much about that. Because I always say books are not enough for real experience. That point we have to understand. This means we have to take subcontracts from those organizations which are EPC organizations or design organizations. Two, we can take subcontracts from those types of organizations and learn aspects of civil engineering, all aspects of civil engineering, construction engineering, design engineering, all that is involved. This is a very important point. And we can say we should take care of that. And also we can say organization also tries continuously to enter into professional alliance. Organization also tries continuously to enter into professional alliance with electromechanical contracting organizations, so as to have their support for our package RCC building contracts, bids for which we intend to chart out pre-bid alliance virtually for submitting competitive bids and constitute with them future partnership for others. Now it's a question here because we want to go higher. We don't have our own systems. We are not that big. But we want to move further in our profession of construction to a level where we can construct all items. We are, say, civil people. We have to take civil contractors, but we want to take complete contracts, and we also want to be EPC. In that way, we are concrete specialist. We are all other civil items specialist, but services which is restricted one, which is licensed one, which is not easy for everyone, and those we can say HVAC service, for example. It can be, you can say, some other service that we can provide. If we can directly have strength of those people who are services contractors, either they are with us permanently or for certain project, and we can say it is our team. For that purpose, we can have certain alliances with them, contractual alliances, not simply subcontractor, but also means they are responsible, though we are responsible on named contract, but we can get them approved in name of formal colleague or formal subcontractor, and maybe at later stage we merge with them or we establish our own teams. That point is very considerable, that you have to have commercial alliance, business alliance with certain people. It could be project specific or it could be general. Generally, project specific alliances we turn out to be, because we have to compete with many business people who sometimes do not care for money, but we have to care for money at number one stage, because if we lose money, we do not find anything, and losing is very easy, but gaining is very difficult. Uses are very difficult. if you can't give profit. Profit is an important item, very important item. But work is also very important. Our every contractor is important. So we have to improve ourselves by alliances. We have to improve ourselves by working on behalf of EPC contractor for purpose of training, so that engineer knows that we are working in a direction, and whatever we learn from them, whatever is specifically understood, all should be reflected on daily reports or monthly reports, whatever it is, or any given documents. Now we say, okay, organization also continuously tries to find junior partners to deal with non-structural items who may extend to us respective affordable assistance to help us win competitive bids. This assistance means if there is a person, a company that works on services, benefit of that product, benefit of that service, we let that company share with us, because if we conclude profit on our being with them, this will unnecessarily enhance, you can say, budget cost or submission cost. It can say, yes, you are now warned because you did this now, you have no right to be as such in future. Now we can say, okay, we have partners, we have divisions, we can develop more and more. It happens, it stays. Our organization has divisions, but it says our organization has divisions such as business development, estimation and tendering, in-house designs, planning and scheduling, marketing and purchasing, all that. And during bidding process, organization appoints and declares some person who has to coordinate with all these. It may be project manager for future of this project, who has to take responsibility for this project as an individual basis, or we can say particularly it happens when someone is involved at design stage to take all information from in-house and outhouses and frame some documents, work out some quantity. That's very important point. We have to. That person should be responsible, and that person should be involved with production of charter and all production that are important. We call that project manager who shall lead on that project. This is general system in every company, but it's not necessary, but we have to give responsibility to someone for that project, and that's what I'm talking here is. Now, what happens actually? Let us say, what happens, virtually speaking, what happens? Let us say there is someone coordinator and someone is project manager for this. Though project manager can also be a coordinator, it's no problem, but we are talking specific term coordinator, which is backbone of bid and which is also backbone of work. Coordination is nothing new. There are so many times they say, oh, this is a coordinator for this work. Not only project coordinator but also other coordinators, we call them. What is coordination? You know that. Coordination here speaks collective technical responsibility. Various, when you can say, when you have no question solved, you have no time for that, but your question is important to be answered, then I think you should be ready for that. It's not that at that time you'll think. At that time you'll waste time on thinking, and you want progress, because that is contract time. Contract time, even a single hour is important on contract time. Single hour. Why to depend on that time? I should be happy those people who don't come in evening to our place. Likewise, we can say we have to rest with that supposition. We have to take rest after we do, and that time reminds us of every act we did in daytime. What we have to do for that coordination? That coordination means you have a destiny based on coordination that you want to submit that bid. You have to submit that bid. That is your destiny. And it's not submission, it should be professional submission. Professional submission. That is important. It says significant. Significant part of bid may be contract form. Very important document. Details relevant to bidder. There is staffing labels, requirement. There is proposed materials you have to understand and list out. Subcontractors, which are proposed for this bid, which is schedule and histograms, S-curve, separate rates for each item included. Detailed bill of quantities with price worked out. Execution method statement intends to run project called construction under that detail. When you say, actually what I am talking is, at this point of coordination, we are talking of technical submission. Technical submission and commercial submission are two different documentation. We discussed about technical submission. Now we will discuss in elaboration, and we discussed about what happened to all that. Coordination. A person on a major bid should appoint a person, I mean to say, whoever is responsible for this project from point of view of election. Election. We have to elect our routes. We have to elect our ways. We have to consider many and elect one. We have to go through documents of bid. We have to understand what is bid requirement, what is bid format, and what necessary attachments are required, and whether do we have some liberty. Sometimes we have, sometimes we don't have. That stage of technical submission preparation is very important, and everybody cannot do it. Even if one tries, cannot do that until one has experience of that one. And that's what I always say. I always claim that try to understand coordination. It looks easy to say it's easy, but when you do it, you won't find easy. We don't find it easy when you do it, and that's very important stage, because it is technical. It's not commercial alone, it's technical. You have to explain yourself, your justification of technical capacity, or we can say capacity building for this project. That point is very, very worthy, very, very worth, you can say, important and significant, that if you have gone through that bit and you are a coordinator, you shall have enough knowledge what this bit says and what are chapters involved that says something and something. Now, that person who is a coordinator appointed by organization, that person has to deal with complete process and must have certain supporting staff with him, with whom that person would coordinate. That person would coordinate with project leaders and also with those stated designers. What is back there? That person has to go through complete provisions of bid. That person has to go through complete specifications of bid. I don't mean to say word by word, but by essence. That person should know what is essence of this bid, what are responsibility factors, all that we have to ascertain. It is duty of that person, first of all, to understand whole technical requirements, whole contractual requirements. What are requirements? What are no requirements? There's some material is there. That material must be understood and communicated to all through whatever means. It takes time on major projects. It takes probably more than a week. You have to start responding to public. Responding to public is not easy. It's too difficult a task. Our requirement is that bid should go smoothly and there should be good impression about technical capability, about engineering capability of our organization for competing on that bid. It's very important. This means we cannot do everything ourselves. We have to depend on market for products, all products. First requirement is product, and before that product that we will call for in market for quotations, etc., we should know what are quantities, actual quantities. If it is only construction project, it must have certain quantities in list form, and which we can say bill of quantities. But its real quantity is known, not just contractual document quantity. So if it's a big job, we cannot take risk of quantity. We have to understand, we have to work out, we have to find real quantities, because quantities is basics that gives an idea of doing job. That's very important. So one activity is quantity. Other activity is quotations, calling various companies for quotation, invitation, inviting them and giving them references of documents or some web link so that they can download if they are not aware. Generally, people who are in their business this point is very important. Until we establish our own BOQ, it's very difficult to give accurate idea of what this project is. We have to understand first ourselves what work we are going to do, what is the scope and how it can be done. Then we have to chart out all documents one by one. You can say quantities, specifications that can be general and that can be particular. There will be many drawings with each activity, each item, and we cannot send whole project to one person. We have to call suppliers, we have to call subcontractors, we have to call all related parties. And when we have a list, we can call different vendors, because all items cannot be supplied with from this list. In many countries, they have their own system, and they want only 4 years back what you were, and now what you are. That point we have to understand. Very, very important point is, it's not organization alone. It says organization. Organization includes what? Safety plan, quality plan. It make concept clear. These two plans are very important. When you work out on some bit, how shall you arrange safety on that project? What quality you plan in addition to what quality we ask you. Though they will ask, will describe what quality is required, but you have to describe what you are, both. You have to honor that system that they are asking for, but you have to give your own view also, your own arrangement also, that you have worked in past projects and what for success percentage of that. Capacity of organization, dealing with project demands professionally. Organization also tends to work out an alternative bid so as to provide a value added service to owner. You can say final worked out price is then inserted on bid confidentially after lot of work is done on technical bid and of course quantification gives an idea, and you have another bid on same project, and it's called commercial bid. Technical bid and commercial bid are together. Your price should go to commercial bid with certain references of this bid and other questions. We have to be very much careful about that. Means it is a total exercise, it's not isolated exercise. Very total exercise, and we have to be very clear about that requirement. I'll go for a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, I think if I can give you something here to read, you can read also that one. I'll come back and let us read. You can say you can read these few points, so that I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Just every day to stretch my legs as well as to feed some birds. Just a minute please, I'll be back, don't worry. I'll put this page here. Just a moment now. Hold on please. Okay, sorry, I'm back now. I think we have gone through some way. Let's move forward to discuss about this technical bid. There may be a required format which we have to comply with, and that format includes so many information in technical bid. Resources, actually it is what resources we have, what shall we use. That form must be fulfilled. It says technical bid means we have to include our whole systems for projects. We can say, as I said, safety plan, quality plan, execution statement, histograms, workers histograms, or you can say workforce histograms, machine histograms, S curves, plans, schedules, our capability, and we can say our past records, CVs of our procurement we handle, work execution we handle, and what we expect from this. Do we understand this project? That's the important point. Do we really understand what we are going to work? That's important. So we can say after this whole consideration, we can provide a volume of technical bid. It's already included with this, but that shall be separately considered. If our capacity is not produced, we are not able to produce our capacity, then we have no meaning. Somebody else may be better than us, maybe having better alternative, maybe having, you can say, better values on that project. Every owner wants best, or you can say better than best. This is every owner who desires that I should get better or best, and I think there's nothing wrong in that. Better or best is always better. And of course we